What a night it was for the TCU Horned Frogs, who took care of business here at home at Amon G. Carter Stadium against the Baylor Bears by a score of 42-17. It was a tremendous night for the win, but also for the team's 25 seniors who got to celebrate Senior Day in style. A night of missed opportunities. That's how TCU will remember its 29-26 loss here tonight to the Texas Longhorns here at Amon G. Carter Stadium, whether it was Millard Bradford's interception turned fumble, Josh Hoover's interception at the end of the first half, or even, in general, red zone inefficiencies. TCU left valuable points off the board, and that's ultimately what hurt them in tonight's loss. It's Big 12 Media Day here in Arlington, Texas, and Commissioner Brett Yormark kicked things off with a few announcements for the Big 12 Conference as a whole, starting off with the new deal that the Big 12 has struck with AT&T to keep the Big 12 championship here at AT&T Stadium through the 2030 season. We spoke with Yormark at the media press conference, and this is what he had to say about keeping the Big 12 championship game here in DFW. Now, while TCU's offense did leave points off the board, it was the TCU defense that was a big role player in tonight's game against the Texas Longhorns. Now, despite giving up 29 points to Texas, the defense held them to only 3 points in the second half, and that's holding Quinn Ewers, Xavier Worthy, and Jonathan Brooks, and a plethora of others to minimal gains. TCU soccer kicked off their season with a bang after getting a 1-0 victory over SMU to start their 2023 campaign. It only took one single goal from Gracie Bryan in the 21st minute to get all 3 points here at home at Garvey Rosenthal Soccer Stadium. Now, he spoke with Coach Eric Bell following the match, and he had nothing but praise for Gracie Bryan. Heading into today's game, the team emphasized winning the turnover battle, and that's exactly what the Horned Frogs did today, as the offense for the first time this season registered 0 turnovers against the SMU Mustangs. But for the defense, it was a massive game for Josh Newton and Bud Clark, who both got an interception to help the team on the defensive side of the ball. It's definitely an aspect of the game that the Horned Frogs will want to take into next week's matchup against the West Virginia Mountaineers. Reporting here from Amon G. Carter Stadium, I'm Ian Napetian, Killer Frogs Fan Nation. TCU picked up its first win of the 2023 season after beating the visitors Nicholls State by a score of 41-6. It was a great rebound game for the Frogs, who lost an incredibly disappointing game to open up their season against Colorado last weekend. Sonny Dykes was definitely impressed with how the team bounced back, and here's what he had to say about the team's energy. For TCU, it wasn't just an ordinary win, but it was a win to start the season against their noisy neighbors in Dallas, SMU. We talked with Gracie Bryan following the match, and she told us about what this win means to the team and how they can build upon it for the rest of this season. After tonight's win over Baylor, all focus now turns to Oklahoma, and we spoke to some of the players following tonight's win, and here's what they had to say about next week's date with the Sooners. Sonny Dykes and the TCU Horned Frogs cruised to a 34-17 victory over local rivals SMU. And for quarterback Chandler Morris, it was a fantastic day as he found 11 different receivers for 261 yards and 3 touchdowns. Sonny Dykes was incredibly impressed with his quarterback's performance, and here's what he had to say about Chandler Morris. Despite putting up 41 points against Nicholls State here tonight, the TCU Horned Frogs still left some points off the board as they committed yet their 3rd red zone turnover of the season. Now, he spoke with Chandler Morris following today's game, and he said that it's going to be a point of emphasis to have better red zone efficiency. Despite tonight's thrashing, head coach Dave Jacobs does want to correct a few things that went astray here tonight at John Clark Stadium in preparation for next week's match on July 15th down in Bossier City, Louisiana, against the same Blue Goose side that we saw here tonight. We talked with him following the match, and he really urged the fact that the team cannot get complacent heading into the playoffs. Exploding for 42 points here tonight, Josh Hoover threw for over 400 yards and found the end zone 2 separate times. And not to mention, he found his favorite target, Jared Wiley, for what was a TCU tight end single game record of 178 receiving yards. It was a great night here at John Clark Stadium in Plano, Texas, as Texas United defeated the visiting Louisiana Crew tonight by a score of 4-0. Alex Estrada opened up the scoring with a header in the first half, and Sergio Ors Navarro got himself a brace of headers as well. And then in the second half, Seth Maulmeister slotted one home to make it 4-0 Texas United. The team got all 3 points and bounced back after what was a difficult night on Thursday. Following the match, we did catch up with assistant coach Guy Diatti, and he stressed the importance of going back to the basics. While the passing game was on point today against the Mustangs, it was the rushing game that continued to impress for the TCU Horned Frogs, as Amani Bailey found 100 yards on the ground for the 3rd time this season. Here's what Chandler Morris had to say about Amani Bailey as a player and what he means as a critical piece to this TCU offense. It's been 4 weeks since Texas United have played here at their home at John Clark Stadium here in Plano, Texas, but their homecoming tonight against the Louisiana Crew did not go as expected. They were down 1-0 heading into halftime, but came back with 2 emphatic goals from Dominic Correa and Carlos Santamaria to then lead the game 2-1 going into stoppage time. But it wasn't until Alfie Conte of the Louisiana Crew tied things up in the 94th minute of the match. We talked with head coach Dave Jacobs following the match, and he was definitely disappointed with the result. With Big 12 Media Day all wrapped up, the next stop for the Horned Frogs is August 1st for camp. Reporting here from AT&T Stadium, I'm Ian Napetian, Killer Frogs Fan Nation. While tonight's win does wonders for the team's morale, the TCU Horned Frogs will look to continue their winning ways when they go down to Houston to open up Big 12 conference play. Reporting here from Amon G. Carter Stadium, I'm Ian Napetian, Killer Frogs Fan Nation. After getting a massive 3 points here at home tonight, the team will get its much-needed rest before their next game against the Louisiana Parish here at John Clark Stadium on July 1st at 7 p.m. Be sure to join us there and get your tickets at txunitedfc.com/tickets, and make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at txunitedfc, and subscribe to our YouTube at Texas United Football Club. Reporting here from John Clark Stadium, I'm Ian Napetian, Texas United TV. TCU now sits at 4-6 after tonight's loss to the Texas Longhorns, which means that they've got 2 games to grab 2 wins and become bowl eligible. And that starts next weekend when the TCU Horned Frogs take on the Baylor Bears here at home. Reporting here from Amon G. Carter Stadium, I'm Ian Napetian, Killer Frogs Fan Nation. After tonight's massive win to start the season, all focus for TCU soccer turns to Sunday, where the team will play host to Florida State. Reporting here from Garvey Rosenthal Soccer Stadium, I'm Ian Napetian, Killer Frogs Fan Nation. Now sitting at 5-6, TCU has a chance to become bowl eligible when they travel to Norman, Oklahoma next Friday. Reporting here from Amon G. Carter Stadium, I'm Ian Napetian, Killer Frogs Fan Nation. Texas United will look to remain invincible as they travel down to Bossier City next weekend on July 15th to take on the Blue Goose SC. But then after that, all focus turns to the playoffs. Make sure to follow us here at Texas United on Instagram and Twitter at TXUnitedFC, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Texas United Football Club. Reporting here from John Clark Stadium, I'm Ian Napetian, Texas United TV.